Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this video, I will present about transmission media created by Fadlur Rahman Hilmi and Jan Raimando Simani Huru. Okay, check this out. What is transmission media? Transmission media is a pathway that carries the information from sender to receiver. We use different types of cables or waves to transmit data. Data is transmitted normally through electrical or electromagnetic signals. Description: transmission media are located below the physical layer. Computers use signals to represent data. Signals are transmitted in form of electromagnetic energy. You can see the pictures on the side. Sender and receiver are physical layer, and the middle of those is transmission media. The transmission media like the cable or air. Classification of transmission media. There are two kinds of transmission media. They are guided and unguided. Guided is wired and unguided is wireless. There are three types of guided media. They are twisted pair cable, coaxial cable, and fiber optic cable. And unguided media is free space, and there are types of unguided media, and we'll explain about that later. Twisted pair cable. A twisted pair cable consists of two conductors, basically copper based, with its own plastic insulation twisted together. Twisted pair description provide protection against crosstalk or interference or noise. One wire used to carry signals to the receiver. Second wire used a ground reference for twisting. After receiving the signal remains them. Therefore, number of twists per unit length determines the quality of cable. Twisted pair. The advantage of twisted pair are cheap and easy to work with, and disadvantage of twisted pair are low data rate and short range. Twisted pair application. Very common. A medium can be used in telephone network connection within the buildings for local area network or LAN. Twisted pair cables. There are two kinds of twisted pair cables, or there are two types of twisted pair cables. They are unshielded and shielded. Unshielded twisted pair or UTP and shielded twisted pair or STP. Unshielded twisted pair description. Pair of unshielded wires wind around each other. Easiest to install. And you can see the pictures of the UTP cable on the side. Application. The application of UTP cable are telephone subscribers connect to the central telephone office, DSL lines, LAN, 10 Mbps or 100 Mbps. UTP cables types. They are Cat 1, Cat 2, up to Cat 7. Categories of UTP cables. The category 1, the specification, uncharted twisted pair used in telephone have has data rate less than 0.1 and it can use a telephone. The 2, unsharded twisted pair originally used in T-lines with data rate 2 Mbps, and 3, improved CAT 2 used in LANs with data rate 10, and you can see the pictures of the slide. UTP connector and tools. UTP connector and tools. RG45 is a gate connector. It means that it can be inserted in only one way. And the crimper tool. You can see the pictures on the slide. Okay, check this out. Advantage of UTP and disadvantage of UTP. The advantage of UTP: there are affordable, most compatible cabling, major networking system. And disadvantage of UTP: suffers from external electromagnetic interference. Sharded twisted pair or STP cable. Pair of wires wound around each other, placed inside a protective foil wrap, metal braid or sheath foil that reduce interference, harder to handle, thick and heavy. And you can see the pictures of STP cable on the slide. STP application. STP is used in IBM token ring networks, higher transmission rates over longer distance. And the advantage of STP and disadvantage of STP. The advantage of STP are shielded and faster than UTP, and disadvantage of STP are more expensive than UTP and high attenuation rate. Coaxial cable. Coaxial cable. Coaxial cable carries signal of higher frequency range than twisted pair cable. You can see the pictures on the slides of coaxial cable. The inner conductor is a solid wire, and the outer conductor serves as a shield against noise and a second conductor. Categories of coaxial cable. There are 3 categories of coaxial cables. First one, RG59 with impedance 75 ohm, and it can use in cable TV, and RG58 with impedance 50 ohm, and it can use in Ethernet, and RG11 with impedance 50 ohm, and it can use thick Ethernet. Coaxial cables are categorized by radio government or RG ratings. RG is the dual standards. Coaxial cable connector. BNC connectors of coaxial cables. There are 3 BNC connectors of coaxial cables. There are BNC connector is used at the end of the cable to a device. Example, TV set connection. And you can see the pictures of on the side. BNC-T connector used to Ethernet networks to branch out connection to computer or other devices. And you can see the pictures on the side. Again, BNC terminator is used at the end of the cable to prevent the reflection of the signal. You can see the pictures. Coaxial cable application. There are some Application of coaxial cable. They are most versatile medium: television distribution, long-distance telephone transmission, can carry 10,000 voice calls simultaneously, short-distance computer systems links, and local area networks. Advantage and disadvantage. The advantage of coaxial cable are easy to wire, easy to expand, moderate level of electromagnetic interference, and disadvantage of coaxial cable are single cable failure can take down an entire network. Cost of installation of a coaxial cable is high due to its thickness and stiffness, and cost of maintenance is also high. Fiber optic cables. A fiber optic cable is made of glass or plastic and transmits signals in the form of light. You can see the pictures on the side of fiber optic cable. Nature of light. Light travels in a straight line. If light goes from one substance to another, then the ray of light changes direction. Ray of light changes direction when it goes from more dense to a less dense substance. Optical fiber use a reflection to guide light through a channel. Core is of glass or plastic surrounded by cladding. Cladding is of less dense glass or plastic. You can see the pictures on the side. There are five parts of coaxial cable. They are string, member, outer jacket, cladding, coating, and core. Fiber optic cable connectors. There are three types of connectors. Fiber optic, subscriber channel or SC connector, same size as RG55 connector, and straight tape or ST connector. And the connector in this, and those connectors are used by fiber optic cable. Areas of application. There are some applications of fiber optic telecommunications, local area networks, cable TV, CCTV, and medical education. Optical fiber advantage. There are some advantage of optical fiber. Great capacity, example data rates at 100 Gbps, smaller in size and lightweight, lower attenuation, electromagnetic isolation, more resistance to corrosive materials, greater repeater spacing facility, and example after every 10 seconds of kilometers at least. Optical fiber disadvantage. The disadvantage of optical fiber are installation and maintenance needs expertise, only unidirectional light propagation, and much more expensive.
The second type of transmission media is the wireless transmission media. Wireless transmission media, or also called unguided transmission media, is a data transmission media that does not require cables in the transmission process. This unguided or wireless media uses an antenna for transmission in air, vacuum, or water. For transmission, the antenna spreads electromagnetic energy into the media, or usually using the air media, while for signal reception, antenna catches electromagnetic waves from the media. There are three types of wireless transmission media, namely radio wave, microwave, and infrared. And the first transmission media is radio wave. Radio waves are part of the electromagnetic wave spectrum. The below is the implementation of radio waves for communication purposes. It is radio communication, satellite communication, Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi. And the first purposes of the radio wave is radio communication. Radio is a term commonly used to capture frequencies in the range 3 kHz until 300 GHz. And the characteristic of the radio communication, namely a range of 30 MHz until 1 GHz, is an effective range for broadcast communication. And unlike frequencies higher than microwave zones, radio broadcast waves are a little sensitive to attenuation when it rains. The main interference source for radio broadcast is multi-line interference. Reflections from earth, water, and nature of or man-made objects can cause multi-lanes between antennas. This effect is evident when a television receiver displays multiple images when an airplane passes. And the second purpose of radio wave is satellite communication. Satellite communication is a relay station microwave used to connect two or more transmitter or microwave receiver on the earth, which is known as the earth station or ground station. And satellites receive transmission above one band frequency, can call uplink, and repeat signals, then transmitted to another frequency, or can call it downlink. The characteristic of the satellite communication is, due to the long distance, there is a propagation delay of about a quarter of a second from the transmission from an Earth station to be captured by another Earth station. Microwave are a broadcasting facility, and this has become its nature. Some stations can transmit to satellites, and transmission from satellites can be received by several stations. And the third purpose of the radio wave is to Bluetooth. Bluetooth is a communication technology wireless operating inside 2.4 GHz unlicensed by ISM frequency or industrial, scientific, and medical by using a frequency hopping transceiver able to provide data communication services and real-time sound between host Bluetooth with a range of service limited. The characteristic of Bluetooth. Bluetooth is a part of radio waves that can be used to exchange information between communication devices in a limited area. Bluetooth is intended to connect telecommunication devices with a range of 9 meters. And Bluetooth is used for PC peripherals such as a mouse, keyboard, and mobile devices such as cell phones and PDAs. And the fourth purpose of the radio wave is Wi-Fi or wireless fidelity. Wireless fidelity is short-range wireless standard intended for help portable computer and mobile devices so they can communicate at high speed in operation at a frequency of 2.4 until 5 GHz. And the second types of wireless data transmission media is microwave. Microwave are parts of the radio wave spectrum. Microwave is a transmission media that uses electromagnetic waves with super high frequency. Namely, frequency is the range of 3 GHz until 30 GHz with wavelength of around 1 mm until 1 meter to transmit signals from the sender to receiver. And the third type of wireless data transmission media is the infrared. Infrared is the first generation of wireless communication technology used for mobile devices. Infrared is one type of electromagnetic wave in the form of light. In everyday life, infrared rays are used on television remote. The television remote can transmit the instruction code carried by infrared ray to be translated by the to be translated by the receiver on the television. Infrared implementation for communication purposes is 1. For short-range wireless data communication using IRDA can call infrared data associations, and for second, free optical communication space, namely telecommunications between 2 points using a laser beam. And that is for our presentation today. We give thanks for your attention. Thank you very much.